Hello, hello. This is your host, Jitsuko Toshiro, sipping on the coffee today. Obviously, over here, wait, let me take a sip. Over here, I want to tell you. So there's one thing I'm always grinding on my main thing, which is pretty much being a physician. I'm studying for the part 2 of my medical licensing exam. But on the side, I always have the charts ready to go. This is how I make a living. This is how I pay for school. So this is very important. Before we dive into the charts, I want to tell you one bit of news I think is really important. You should really listen to this because, look, if you want to take anything away from this video, it's this. Jerome Powell, which is the Fed chair spokesperson, he basically is saying that interest rates obviously went up by 0.25, which was expected by the entire market. But I don't have a news article ready to go, but to sum up whatever he said, he basically said that interest rates will continue to go up until inflation is brought down back to that 2% threshold. He said he'll do whatever it takes, even if it takes to 2025, he will do it. And what does that mean for the dollar? This is the DXY chart. That means it's going to boom, okay? So let's dive into the technicals. I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the technical analysis of Bitcoin and the dollar. Over here, you can see on the 4-hour time frame, we do have a breakdown, but I'm going to start off with the weekly, like I always like to start off. I have the EMA cross ribbons from 50 and 200. If you have any other ribbons on, please turn them off. They're just noise at this point. These are the two that are the most important, and let me show you exactly why I think they're the most important. If you look here, we basically started off above the 200 EMA up here. Sorry about the words there. We came down, we crashed and tumbled down, and then we had this range trading motion, okay? This is how things digress, how they move down in the market. This is just exactly how it takes weeks for things to actually bottom out. You can see that we did try to reclaim the 200 EMA, or the 50 EMA, excuse me, and we hovered above it for about a week. Then we came crashing down for like 2 months straight, basically. And then we consolidated. Excuse me, that was the coffee. We consolidated, and now we reclaimed it, okay? We've only reclaimed it for 1 week. We've only reclaimed it for 1 week, and everyone thinks it's another bull market. Do not get caught. I'm telling you, there's a lot of longs getting trapped here. We are in it for the bears, okay? What I think is going to happen is we're going to have a massive capitulation. And I think you have to always remember psychologically, what's the number where there's a lot of technical support and a lot of basically buyers. So let me show you something. Right here, we have our $15,000 support, right? And everyone thinks that this is the bottom. Okay, that's fair enough, but technically there is no technical support there, other than there being a psychological number of 15,000. It's a nice number. Then you go down, the next thing up is probably this 12 to 13, 10,000 range. I do believe that it's a good number to obviously bounce off for a low. But if you really want to think about it, this $9,000 level is the level I think people will want to give up on crypto, okay? Psychologically, if I see Bitcoin drop to $9,000, I will think that Bitcoin is dead along with the rest of the crypto family. This is the psychological number where everyone wants to give up, okay? Now, if you're a Bitcoin maxi and you think that Bitcoin is the solution to this hyperinflation state, this is solution for the banks and whatnot, I agree. It can be done. But let me tell you something. If the feds are onto it and they want to back the dollar with Bitcoin, they will not buy it at $27,000 per Bitcoin. They're going to start purchasing it way lower. I want to show you one more thing with the DXY, okay? DXY is coming off of a huge technical support area, and it's finally bouncing. I actually want to invert the scale because sometimes we have our biases, right? I don't know how to do it on my phone, but if you were to, we have our biases, okay? Everyone thinks the DXY is going to 0 and it looks like crap. But if you move this technical support down, this horizontal support, you can see that we're actually bouncing off a really strong area. This is not the time to be going long on any type of commodity. If you look at the weekly time frame for the DXY, we are bouncing off this support right here. This is a pivotal moment for the DXY. It just came off a super run. It's retesting the breakout, and it looks like it's ready to skyrocket at least to that 113 area again. If we do skyrocket to that area, that means stocks, Bitcoin, crypto, housing, everything will go down, and Jerome Powell will get the results he wants by increasing those interest rates. Let's go back to the Bitcoin CME chart. There's one more thing I want to show you about my 9K analogy and thesis. If you look, we have a few gaps we haven't filled yet. The first one's here underneath this $21,000 mark when we had that big weekly move and open above the 200 EMA. So this move right here all the way up to this almost $30,000 mark is the area of basically retracement. We're going to come back here and fill it, okay? Then we have another CME gap, and no one's talking about it. And I bet you up until we hit 18K again, people will start talking about this $9,000 one. This goes back to my thesis that I was telling you guys. This is the price where everyone will want to give up on Bitcoin. This is the area where we will capitulate to, and it's just a matter of time. One more thing I want to tell you guys, if you zoom out and you basically look at the chart, look at how we bottomed out here in 2018. It took time, it took weeks, and then we capitulated, okay? Then we had a 300% move to the upside. These moves to the upside, this was only if maybe almost 100% move. But if you think about it, if you really think about it, we're not set in stone yet with the move to the upside. I don't see us hitting all-time highs. Another thing, if we pull this gap far enough, it actually works as a really good technical support from the last bull run. We bounced off of it. We hit new all-time highs. We bounced off of it almost again, but it was kind of premature. And then we crashed under it. We never retested it as a resistance. And as you can see, the first test is going to be obviously the test that's going to be resisted. And then depending on how low we go off this $30,000 resistance is pretty much up in the air. But I want to tell you, we haven't tested it, and this is the first time we've tested it ever as resistance. So I think that it's going to hold as resistance. It's a really strong wall. And then we'll come back down, test these 18,000 levels, and obviously it's not going to hold. Something will break in the economy and send things down. I don't know what. It might be the banking sector again, but this is the technical plan I have ready to go. So where am I hedged? I'm hedged in a lot of dollars, so I've been cashing out dollars. I used to hold them in the bank, but now I don't even do that because it's not safe, obviously, with all the bank runs. And then I do have a lot of Bitcoin still. And the reason why I have that is because you never know that if Bitcoin can move up, it does its own thing. So I always own Bitcoin. That's not a question. And then lastly, I do trade. So I'm hedging shorts right now. I'm looking for shorts. I'm looking for good entries. I just got into options. This is a little bit off tangent, but this is where I think the market's going. The market wants to go down, so you have to respect it. We're getting resisted at 30,000, and that should be your game plan from here on out. That is basically it for today. So let's go back. Let's take another sip of coffee. I wanted to tell you exactly where I think the market's going. Jutsuko Toshiro here. If you made it this far, please just click that subscribe button. I'm a really busy person. You can see that I get 400 texts in a day, and I have a lot on my plate. But I'm here to update you every single day, just to give you the technical analysis of where I think the market's going. I hope you guys found this video very fruitful because I enjoy making them. You take care now. Good luck trading. Comment down below if you want me to cover anything else. Thank you.